Today's video we're going to talk about space in music and the first time I called a rock radio station and requested a song. So the first time I requested a song, I saw Quiet Riot on tour with Poison, and they had a new album out, and at this time I was already knee deep into buying so many types of albums. A lot of times I was going into stores, and if it had a cool name and the band looked right and there was like a song about girls on the back, I bought the album. And there was a bunch of great albums I bought that way. Y&T Contagious was incredible, and I've heard of them, but I'd never listened to them. So that was my first time listening to them. I also think that's their best album. But I called 105.9 Rock here in Middle Tennessee after seeing the show at the Starwood, and it was probably a couple of days later. So let's say it was probably on like a Thursday night, or I can't remember. But I remember calling in, and I was really nervous, and I was a lot younger. But I was super nervous, and I was like, yeah, I want to, hey, I can't remember what he said. Might have said the Rock 105.9, and I was like, yeah, I'd like to request a song, but I was real like, yeah, I'd like to request a song, you know. And he's like, yeah, what do you want? I was like, um, Quiet Riot, Rock the House off the Guilty Pleasures album that just came out. Okay, man. All right, thank you. And then I hung up. Never heard the song. I thought about that a lot. I was like, well, I requested it, never heard it. But see, a lot of people don't realize in music, the space is, for the most part, already purchased. They might set some aside for local bands to purchase, or local have their, we're promoting you guys tonight, like something to do for the local whatever. But the space is purchased. So when you're hearing Boston and Led Zeppelin and some of the same songs on classic rock stations, instead of a lot of deep cuts, it's because somebody has purchased that space. So it's almost like a publisher owns it, and when the publisher is just pushing it out there. So it's hard to get into that space. I didn't hear that song. I never heard that song on the radio. I don't think it got pushed that well. And it wasn't my favorite song on the album, but it was great live. It felt just like all of their other big hits. Like it could have been a big hit song. But that space is important, and that space always has me questioning, is the future of music going to have enough space? I mean, there's always the little pebbles. There's always the one that, oh, that one band. But guys, there's a collective here that we're trying to like look at, how many. Um, the space is going to be bought up. I think when bands go digital, they're going to have all of these spots and spaces purchased. They already have a brand. You're already hearing the songs in movies and video games. It's really hard to find a spot. And then people say TikTok and blah, blah, blah. Guys, listen, everything's getting smarter. AI is getting smarter. AI will be able to find when this music's played. It's going to be able to, like, quote unquote, hear it and detect it right when it's played. One day I was going on Facebook Live, and I had Hall and Oates playing in the background. Like right now, I got old WWF, um, but I had Hall and Oates playing in the background, and they flagged me, um, and hit me with a copyright strike. So it's getting to the point, even you can take your phone out. If you hear a song, you can take your phone out, ask Google or whatever what it is. It will tell you what song is playing in the background. So the space is important. And the day that I called that number, I realized that. So that's what the video is about today. It's about space. And sometimes what you like, you only know it because it's in your space. If you don't have other things in your space, then you won't know that you like it. And that's kind of one of the big hurdles I think rock and roll has to face moving into the new world of AI and technology.